know, since Geraldine, has there been any other woman, especially on the Republican side, I think this is their first. For us, it could have been Hillary Clinton. However, the problem is not any woman should do. You still have some qualifications. Even though I am a woman, I really want you to be qualified for the position. I don't want you just to get in because you are a woman. That's not enough. Not only am I a woman, but I am good. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know my job. I've been there frontward and backwards. So it's not enough just to be a woman. And I think that's an insult to me. It's an insult to women all across the country. It's not just enough to be a woman. Although I congratulate her on her position, I thank God that she is the person that she is, but not any woman would do. And we have to make sure we send out that message. She wasn't even, on their short list. But because they thought that they could pick up those 18 million voters, she became very quickly the person that they needed to target, and not any woman can do. And that's my message. I definitely am on the forefront for women's rights and women's movements, and I think we are uplifting the woman, and I think there should not be a glass ceiling. However, you have to be qualified for the position. So in my state and where I'm from, it's not any woman can do. You got to be ready for the job. I really believe that our people and the majority has to be back into the people's hands, and we haven't had that in the last 8 years with the Republicans. They're not listening to the people, and I would really want a president that's in office that is listening to the constituents of the states that he is presiding over. So in my opinion, I was a Barack Obama person before the debate last night. However, after last night, I found it interesting that McCain was really trying to be condescending in regards to his education or him not being ready to lead. And I think, there has been plenty of people not being ready to lead. However, not only that, I do think the tactics that we continue to use, and we heard a lot of that last night, tactic versus strategy. I think the tactics and the strategy that we have used in the past 8 years has not been beneficial to us as a whole, as a country. And we are seeing what's happening because of that. Our economy is falling. Our status in the world has failed. We are no longer looked upon as the great United States of America, and we have a lot of work to do. So I think Obama did a good job of making sure that the general public know that I could hold my own in any situation, and I think that was very important. In my opinion, sometimes I feel like he could, get back at them and get, dirty or get to the undercut, especially when he say that's the difference, you don't know what you're doing. I think sometimes he can just say, no, I know what I'm doing, and this is how we're going to get it done. And so sometimes I really think we should have a tad bit more assertiveness, a tad bit more tenaciousness, but for the first debate, I think he did a really good job of holding his own and making sure that the general public knows that I have a plan. Not only do I have a plan, I'm willing to see it all the way through, and I am willing to communicate, of which we haven't been willing to do as a country, and therefore people are hating us all across the world.